Hi guys, just a little extra video from me. Obviously, I did a little video earlier on about the postponement between Grimsby and Notts County. Now I'm going to give an explanation rather than someone asked me on was talking to me over Twitter, X of course, and just wanted to, was saying it should have been a pitch inspection should have been called earlier. Right. Yes and no is the answer to that. And the reason why I say yes and no, if it was forecast to drop to as low as it ended up dropping, because apparently I think it dropped to about -4 last night, around about 4 5 a.m. Obviously the covers have been on for a number of days. And Grimsby Town did actually put out a very good statement as to what happened in regards to the late postponement, which I understand will have upset a lot of fans because it's a Saturday, we wanted the game on. I'm trying to explain this, but I thought I'd try and explain it more in video rather than verbal. What I believe happened, and I just want to cover that by saying I have seen pitch inspections, so I know sort of how they work. It wasn't a planned pitch inspection because it wasn't forecast to drop as low as it dropped. And most covers, I think, can take up to -2 temperatures. But what happened, and I believe has happened, with this, I wasn't there obviously, but knowing what I know of pitch inspections, what has actually happened is there's 4 main areas that the referee would have looked at. What was decided was Grimsby decided to keep the covers on till the referee turned up, which he also would have been advised by the referee to do so. So when the referee turned up, the covers were still on. When the referee turned up, the referee then would have asked for the covers to be removed so he could inspect the pitch himself. Hence why there wasn't a statement until when they mentioned about the full pitch inspection being 10:30, which is still early enough for the pitch inspection. So once the referee turned up, the ground staff pulled back, basically started to pull back the frost covers. Then what would have happened, and anyone that's done these or anything like that, they would have gone round, and people know this, some people know this, I know they do, but people would have gone round with the groundsman, with the management team, with the fourth official, with the assistant referees, gone round the pitch and checked for hardness of assault. Why? Because the temperature had plummeted. But here's the thing. What he would have then decided is he would have then said, let's obviously do all the stuff checking this. And the 4 areas, I reckon, can't be certain, but I'm almost sure, would be the goal mouths, the corners, the centre circle, and both penalty boxes. Because in the statement Grimsby put out, they did say that even during the inspection, 80% of the pitch was playable. So only 20% wasn't playable. And that is either where the subs and linesmen were running, which is down the, down the bylines, or, like I said, it was the centre circle, the corners of the four corners of the pitch, the penalty boxes, both of them. They were the bits that probably was why the referee called it off. Now, what I'm no, that he would have asked the groundsman whether, with the time remaining, because they obviously had to kick off at 12:30, which again is mentioned in Grimsby's statement, he would have asked the linesman, depending on where the worried areas was, if we gave you up until a certain time, would you have enough time to be able to try and basically defreeze the area? If the linesman, if the groundsman has then gone no, he may not have done, he may have not, depending on how bad it was. Whether it was ice or looks like it was. But he would have asked the groundsman. The groundsman may have gone, there isn't enough time, ref. Or we don't think we can do that, what we need to do for that. So the referee then would have said, okay, at the minute, the main areas that need to be, the main worry areas, which again, I'll say again, are the corners, the centre circle, the penalty boxes and the goal mounds, and obviously the lines where the referees and substitutes run. If they couldn't be thought out in time before 12:30, they would have had to have called the game off. And that's why, I believe that's why it was called off, is because those areas were probably the areas that weren't, I don't know for certain, but I'm going off pitch inspections that I've been to over the years. But there's obviously certain areas of the pitch that the referee wasn't happy with, and the grounds may not have had the time required to get it up to standard. I know people said, why didn't they bring it back to 3 o'clock? Maybe it would have done by then. You've got to then consider the temperature could have plummeted even further. Sky wouldn't, because it was on Sky Sports Plus. Again, a lot of this was mentioned in the statement. Because it was on Sky Sports Plus, they weren't really able. They might have been able to put it back for an extra half an hour, but by the looks of the statement, they weren't able to put it back any further. So because the ground must have said something along the lines of, we haven't got enough time. So all they've done is they've gone, well, at the moment, those areas, wherever they are, I can only suffice where they are, but I can imagine exactly the areas. The pitch where it needs to be playable as well isn't playable because it's only little sections. That's why I say it's those areas, because they're the most important areas on the pitch. You know, it's got to be safe, and that is why. So the reason why is, did Grimsby do anything wrong? No, they didn't. They kept the covers on until they were told to take them off. Because if they took them off earlier, the ground probably would have froze even more, which probably would have made the referee just look and go, no. He's obviously had to go round the pitch, saw where the damage was, asked the groundsman whether he could warm it up and get it, get it right, because with 80% being fine, there was a chance that it could have been played if you could have done that. So that's all it is, guys. Basically, it's Grimsby haven't done anything wrong. Grimsby released a statement when they did, when they could sense the upset, and I could understand the upset from the Notts County fans in regards to them travelling to here. I could understand our fans upset from travelling to, because we want to go to a game on a Saturday. And why wasn't it pre-arranged? Because Grimsby thought they'd done enough. So they'd spoke to the referee. But so actually, I'm just going to backtrack slightly. The announcement was made that a pitch inspection was going to take place at 10:30. So it was made. And it was the referee asked for that. I'm getting there around about 10:30. He'd have probably got there for about 20 past. Anywhere from 20 past to 10:30. He got on the pitch, saw the concerning areas, talked to the groundsman. They didn't think they could get that thought out in time. So he's had to call the game off at around about 20 past 11. He's had to call the game off. It's just very, very unfortunate. That's why I said, please ask me questions. If you do have questions about that, or things like that, or what referees may have to do to get to a decision, but it wouldn't have been taken lightly. It wouldn't have been taken lightly. Really, it's basically an unfortunate thing where they just couldn't thaw out the right areas in time. And unfortunately, it's going to have to be rearranged. But that is why, basically, the areas that need to be, all the pitch needs to be safe, but guaranteed the areas of the goal mouths, the penalty areas, the corners, the penalty spots, the corners, and all those places. So that'll be why, unfortunately, the game got called off. I thought I'd do a little video on that so people could understand more so people could go back to this and reference this. And if you do have any questions on that side of it, please do, because I have been to many over the years, a pitch inspection. I will say this, my dad used to be a referee, so if there's one thing that I was aware of, it was pitch inspections. And when I read the statement, it was exactly what I thought. So none of it didn't shock me when it got called off, because I'd have known I'd have had an idea. I didn't know because I wasn't there, but I had an idea what the referee called it off for and where it probably got called off from and why, what areas it probably was. When the statement from Grimsby did say 80% playable, 20% not, the areas that instantly jumped to my mind, like I said, was the corners, was the goal mouths, was the penalty spot, was the centre circle, and probably least likely but possible would have been the line where the linesman runs and the subs run. I hope this helps clear it up a little bit more. So, clarity is to nobody did anything wrong. Grimsby didn't do anything wrong. The referee didn't do anything wrong. But I understand it will frustrate supporters. Obviously, the game will get rearranged as soon as it can. So we will have Notts County down here at some point. But any questions on this or refereeing decisions you want an opinion, I will give you an honest one. If I didn't know anything about pitch inspections, I wouldn't have been talking about them. I wouldn't have said anything. But I do know a little bit about pitch inspections. So it's just unfortunate that there's certain areas of the pitch that just weren't playable. And I'm sorry if some fans feel like it was done on purpose. It wasn't. It wasn't. Everything was followed that should have been followed. And it was just an unlucky one. But leave your comments down below, please, if you've got questions on that. Or you got thoughts on it. You know, and I will do another video if need be to explain again. But I thought I'd put a video out here knowing I know a little bit about pitch inspections, but nothing that was put in Grimsby's statement I disagreed with, because I knew what it was going to be. And even though the areas weren't described, I've got a good idea as to where the areas on the pitch that got froze was. So please do like, share, subscribe, and do comment on this. And not about throwing abuse or anything like that. If you've got questions and I can answer them, or I can give you my opinion from my experience growing up as a referee's son, then I will give you that opinion. Or the referees will see it another way. But believe me, I've been to enough, or I've seen enough pitch inspections to know how they work. They can happen just like that, or they can be like the Mansfield one was arranged the day before because it was expected to plummet to about -5 at Mansfield. But it was already frozen before it even happened. So there's another example. So that got called off the day before. But it does lead me to a quick question before I finish. Everyone talks about when should a game get called off? And that's the question I'm going to ask my subscribers and fans of all clubs. When should a match get called off? Should it get called off the day before? Should it get called off 3 hours before? Should it get called off the morning of? When do you think the perfect inspection should be? Because I have seen instances where people have gone, you're not giving the pitch chance. You're not giving the game a chance. I have my opinion. And, I'm sure you have yours. So this is to all my subscribers and all football fans that watch this video, your opinion, and it's valid. When do you think a pitch inspection should take place? And if so, should it be the day before and then call a game off the day before, or should it be the day of? It'll be interesting to see what your thoughts are, but I hope this video helps anybody that's probably tried to that might have misunderstood me or might have not known. That's probably why the game today's been called off. I don't know exactly, but I do know a little bit about pitch inspections with watching my dad over the years do them. So it's not as though I've got no prior knowledge of pitch inspections. But again, if you haven't seen Grimsby's statement, it is still out there. You can still read it for yourself and make your own opinion. But I just wanted to give that because I felt like I do know a little bit about it. So I'll let you guys know what I know about pitch inspections and what I believe may have happened. So I hope this video helps, and I'll be back later in the week with any transfer news that Grimsby Town. But I want any fan to get involved in this. You don't have to agree with me, I understand that. And I don't expect you all to, but please leave your comments down below. You know, let's have a debate on this. When do you think a game should get called off? Leave it down below. I'll see you guys soon with the Chesterfield preview and any transfer business that is done by Grimsby. So let me know down below any questions on this topic as well that I can help with. I don't know everything. I'm not gonna, but if there's any question that you have that I might have a solid opinion on or know of through what I've seen referees do in the past, I will answer them for you. So like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's very disappointing the game didn't get on. I'm disappointed as any Notts County fan, any Grimsby fan was, that the game, but I wasn't surprised when Grimsby brought the statement out. What was done, I wasn't surprised by it. If anything, I smiled and went, yeah, that's exactly why it's been called off. I roughly know the areas that would have been in question. Not exactly, but I'm almost about 80% sure that's where the areas were. So please do like, share, subscribe, and do comment on this video. I do want you guys' opinion on this. And I will see you guys very soon with another video. Cheers, guys. I hope this video helps a little bit, at least to take away maybe a level of frustration. I know fans are frustrated. And believe me, referees do not want to call games off. They do not want to call games off. They never ever do. So like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Up the manners. And do you know what? Up football. You know what I mean? Let's have a good debate about this. I'll see you soon. Ta-da.